Where you going?
Yeah, man. So I was outside today doing some yard work, just trying to, it's that time of year again, man.
It sucks. Own the house sucks. Like it's good, but also it sucks. Like this time
Well,
of
it's
year,
I don't know,
shoveling snow.
it's weird though, because it's like I remember as a kid I used to hate yard work. Now it's just like I was so happy that like my son was behaving and wasn't like super hungry or super fussy, and I was just like, all right, let's just throw a blanket out back in the backyard and he can just chill while I do some yard work.
Bro, that's so cool.
Yeah,
He's not there yet. Yeah,
yeah,
that's
no,
okay.
no, no. This is what getting old sounds like, man. You get excited about getting yard work done.
Yo, and like, okay, I got weeds growing up, bro. Like already, I'm like, it's just started April. Like, give me like a week or two to like get my knees warmed up, and I gotta
Nope,
do everything.
nope.
Yeah,
I'm gonna do my first cut this week.
I'm sure join you. Yeah, it's the reality of life. So what we talking about today, bro?
Well, welcome back, nerds, to another episode of the New Box Nerds podcast. I'm your host, Chris, aka Prince, with the homie
Mm-hmm.
Darron, aka Matt Grizzly. Darron, how you doing, bro?
Cool, man. Cool. I'm
Good,
feeling good. Nice little sit there. I'm feeling good right now. It's all
good,
good.
good, good. Yeah, no, I wanted to chat with you today, man, about we got some Batman Part Two uh news. I know it's not slated to come out until I think like October 2025, something
Yeah.
like that. But there have been some rumblings going around that at least one of the villains in the Batman Part Two is going to be Clayface. Now, like we talked about, I feel like we talked about this when we were talking about our when we did our the Batman spoiler review a
Mm-hmm.
while back. Given just like the world that Matt Reeves has created, like this iteration of Batman,
Mm-hmm.
I'm both excited, but kind of like, how are we going to do this? Because this is Clayface is not the kind of villain that I would think would fit into Matt Reeves's kind of setting. So I don't know. What are your thoughts?
First off, I should have bet you. I should have bet the group chat because I said Clayface and everyone said it doesn't make sense. It's not what he's going for. I said Clayface, and what do you know? Yeah, this I should have pitched you dinner or something. But anyway, I think it's not going to be the Clayface that we're used to. It's going to be something totally different. I think it's going to be more grounded and it's going to be more spooky. Like I feel like in this series, he's kind of going to be the scarecrow in a sense. Like he's going to have. I saw some fan pictures and fan art, and they had one with a copper face. What the like between his mouth was like the dripping. It looks so cold, bro. Like I
Yeah,
with the hat on top of it, to look like oh, that looks so cold. And the way how Matt Reeves has already made Gotham what it is, I want to see how the new era is going to be after the dam, everything's being rebuilt. Like having a character like him is going to start off showing the accent that made Clayface because he was created in 1940, so they have fair game to do whatever they want to do right now, and for a new audience, and it's kind of like fun to actually know that they're going to bring someone in here, not Joker. I'm no offense to Joker, but I'm happy to see other characters.
yeah, no, yeah, I agree with you. I think we've been waiting for a different villain in Batman's Rogues Gallery to hit the big screen for a
Mm-hmm.
while. I really like that they're choosing to do Clayface because I think there's a bunch of different ways that you can really approach this. Because, like
Yeah,
to your point, if they're gonna go with like the Batman the Animated Series Clayface, where it's it, I would think this is why I thought he wasn't gonna do Clayface because that version of that character is a little bit more fantastical than what Matt Reeves has
yeah,
at least pitched this Gotham to us, right? But there's also different iterations of Clayface where he was essentially just, an actor who got pissed off about them remaking a movie that he was in. And so he basically becomes like a serial killer. So he's wearing the Clayface mask from the movie that he was in, and he goes around killing the other actors. So I don't know if they're going to do like something more like that, like more in the lines of like you said, like something more grounded, something less fantastical.
mm-hmm.
Um, and I think if I had to put my money on it, I would say they're probably going to lean towards something like that, more grounded, not something just only because that's just not what Matt Reeves has pitched to us. Like that's not the world that like we were that we were given. I mean, and maybe they'll surprise us and they'll do it and they'll make it in a way that's like that makes sense, which I'd be okay with because that was the Clayface that I grew up with, not the I grew up with the fantastical Clayface, so I'm okay with it.
Yeah, something fresh. Like we never expect Riddler to be what Riddler was, so that's why I'm like super excited. On top of that, I think they're building on the detective part. This is gonna make it more like Detective Comics type style because like you just said it yourself, like he got angry, go around, started to kill his fellow coworkers. This right here is like a mystery, like who's actually doing the killing, who is Clayface. I think all that will build into Matt Reeves of saying this is the Batman we want. We want the true detective side of him. So it's gonna be pretty cool to see that storyline. I can see that working very well. Do you think he's gonna be the only big bad, or like you think it's gonna be someone else gonna slip in there? What are you thinking?
No chance. I feel like these movies nowadays that they always have multiple villains, right?
Mm-hmm.
Obviously with the first one, Catwoman was in it, but you know she's notoriously kind of always towing the line.
Mm-hmm.
The Riddler, but of course we had Penguin and Carmine Falcone, and of course the whole criminal element in Gotham is always there.
Yeah.
Um, so I, I'm very interested to see who else they're going to bring in because we know that there's a Penguin series coming out on HBO Max in between the events of the Batman and the Batman Part 2, right? So
Did they drop how
apparently
many episodes it's gonna be yet?
I don't know if they've released that yet. If you guys know in the comments, let us know if they have, but I haven't heard anything as of yet. But apparently it's supposed to start like a week or so after the events of the Batman. And so like where things kind of like end at the end of that movie is everything's in disarray, right? Like the city's flooded, Carmine Falcone is dead, Maroni is locked up, so there's a power vacuum, right? And of course,
Mm-hmm.
Penguin is standing there Carmine's office, looking out at the Gotham skyline, and we all know what Penguin's going to do. He's going to try and you know seize Gotham crime for himself, right? So
My city now.
right, so I'm very excited to see like that series because
Mm-hmm.
I think it's going to give us so much more like screen time with Penguin because he as good as he was, like we didn't get a whole lot of him in the Batman, but the parts
Yeah.
that we got, I loved. Right, so
Yeah.
I'm psyched to get a whole series. I say all that to say, I wonder how they're going to introduce other members of Batman's Rogues Gallery in this series and how it's going to tie into the Batman Part 2.
I feel like Ivy. I feel like Ivy's gonna make a coming. I think that's bound to happen. I wonder with this kind of style. Hear me out. Dark Horse. What if Huntress? Like someone like that, like someone that no one expects to be there, just
Hmm.
randomly, just like because the way the world is being, like I can see like a wildcat, someone underground boxing type stuff, like some people that you don't expect that can fit in the real. Like it's not a supernatural one. It's like these are real characters that they're not really always villains, heroes, but they toe the line of what Gotham really was and what it can be. So I'm looking for like those, maybe a TV show pop up every once in a while, and it's gonna be fun knowing that you can watch something home and then go into the actual movie and like, yo, I feel like I can't wait to see it. So, who's another big bad where like you've seen him in this movie or her in this movie, you'd be like, yo, I'm cool with this, or hero that
You
you want
know,
to see?
my pick was going to be Ivy. I feel
Okay.
like with the world that we've gotten with this iteration of Batman, I do think there could be a really cool sci-fi way of doing Poison Ivy.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think other than that, like if we're going to just focus on the crime element of Gotham, um, I would love to see Black Mask. I think I
That's cool.
think Black Mask as like a foil to Penguin and like
Mm-hmm.
his newly found empire in Gotham would be great.
Yeah.
Um, I, I'm very interested in like Huntress though. That's a good one that I feel like a lot of people wouldn't be thinking about.
I'm just saying, throw it out there, like, or just there's characters I feel that Matt Reeves is going to introduce to us that we're like, yo, I wasn't expecting this, but thank you. Like, no one expected
Right.
to be Clayface. Like, you told me your top back to back is Riddler to Clayface. If we did a poll beforehand, that wouldn't have been the top two.
Right.
So that right there. And do you think it's more pressure now for the second movie because the first one was so successful?
I don't. I'm gonna say no, and
Okay.
the only reason why I say no is they have firmly kind of separated James Gunn's universe and Matt Reeves's Batman universe.
Yeah.
Um, so I think it's just like, look, Matt Reeves, we love what you did on the first one. Continue doing your own thing. Like
Yeah.
we're not going to come in here and mess it up. Like whatever your process was for the first one, just do it again. Everyone loved it. It's fine. Just keep doing that. So I don't think there's any pressure there because I feel like Matt Reeves is the kind of person. I don't know him personally, but just based off of like what he's talked about when he talks about his iteration of Batman, he seems very much like this is what I want to do, and if
Mhm.
Warner Brothers wasn't going to accept my vision for this story and the stories that I'm going to tell about Batman, then I wouldn't have signed on to do it.
I love
Right.
it.
So I do think that they're like leaving him to his own devices. And I mean, you can't really argue with it. The first one was wildly successful. Fans loved
Yeah.
it, critics loved it. It made a lot of money.
I I kind of want to throw out the rule of trilogies, like throw that out the window when it comes to this series in
Same.
particular. I feel like I'm not saying make it like what was the movie where it's like 20 of them? They make part one and part two. I can't even think right now the name. With werewolves and vampires. I can't think of the name right now. Oh my gosh.
Oh, like Twilight.
Yes, yes. I'm not saying do that like the 20 freaking movies, but I'm saying like a solid five would be great. And like throw a little quarter owls in the mix, like sort of like the fourth one. Um, I would love that because you're building on what the foundation of Batman is, and then you stop at a trilogy. I feel like I don't want to restart again. I want you to keep on building. I want to see the Red Hoods. I want to see the Nightwings. I want to see them not just Robins. I want to see them as their own individual characters, and then you can build off that to other movies. I want to see more. I don't want to just see the Batman franchise. It can be the
Right.
pillar, but not the conclusion of everything.
Well, to that point, I think now that James Gunn has announced his whole DC slate
Yeah.
and Matt Reeves is the Batman is going to be in its own Elseworlds,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think anymore. I don't think that we're going to get any Robins in Matt Reeves's iteration of Batman. And I say all that
Ooh.
because James Gunn has already pretty much said his Batman movie is going to be, the
You know
Brave
what?
and the Bold, and they're
Good
starting
point.
with Damian Wayne, which means okay, or maybe it doesn't mean this, but I would assume it means okay, Dick Grayson, Jason Todd, Tim Drake, they're already out there. They have already been Robin, right? If you're going just through a linear progression of things, right? So like I think if we're gonna get Robin and Nightwing movies down the line, it's gonna be part of James Gunn's connected universe because when we see Batman in his universe, these Robins are already established as a thing.
How do you feel about that?
I'm okay with it, honestly. I'm
You're
okay with
okay.
it.
Like you don't want to see a Nightwing in the Matt Reeves one. You're okay with it being in the James Gunn one.
I mean, it would it be dope? Yeah, absolutely. I think it would be dope, but I also
Mm-hmm.
think I also think if we were to get a Robin and Matt Reeves's Batman,
Yeah.
they would have to age Robin up
Okay.
significantly, I feel like, because I think his universe is a little bit too not even I don't want to use the term too like as it's like too much, but it's grounded in a sense where a 13, 14-year-old kid is not going out there with Batman, not in that world, not in that
Yeah.
Gotham.
You're getting
Because he's
bodied.
going to get his shit pushed in. Yeah, he's going to get
Yeah.
his shit pushed in. Like in James Gunn's a little bit. I'm assuming it's going to be more fantastical, right? Because he's, you're looking at the greater DC universe. You're going to have Superman. You're going to have Flash and all those other
Mm-hmm.
characters. You can lean more into Robin there than you can in the Batman.
Okay, I get it. I get it. But now that I think about what you just said, I don't like it. I don't like it because like whoever the Batman will be in James Gunn's universe is going to have unfair pressure to actually live up to what the Matt Reeves is doing, because you always go to comparison, because Matt Reeves is going to do his thing no matter what. And two, the potential if they do a dud with the introduction of Nightwing or Damian like that, everyone's going to turn on James Gunn right away and go to Matt Reeves. Like, it's almost unrealistically fair. It's not fair. It's not fair.
Well,
You as a fan right now, you tell me they both dropped the same day. Which film would you go see? A Matt Reeves Batman, which actually is the building to be the dark, almost detective that we always wanted, or you're gonna go see I'm just super and happy and fun and flowers.
Well, wait. Let's be fair.
We don't know yet. I'm just saying,
we don't know that that's what it's gonna be.
Okay,
but
I'm just saying.
Here would be my answer to that. If I had to go with my gut, I would say Matt Reeves, just because it's already.
That's my point.
but it's also not fair to judge them, because like Matt Reeves has already come out with one that's already good, so we're already looking forward to it, right? But
yeah,
this is the beautiful part about this whole Elseworlds thing. We get both now, Darron. We get both.
I know, but it's just one of those things where it's like, I get it, and I'm happy because I get to get multiple views on it. It's just, I don't know.
I mean,
the next Batman is going to have to be like so confident and within himself that nothing can touch him, because you are walking against a titan compared to what we think is going to happen with the Matt Reeves. We're all predicting, but the monumental and the momentum is going to be by the time the new Batman comes out. We're going to talk about 3 movies in, 2 movies in, maybe third one again already being shot.
I mean, I don't know, because like my thing is now too. So like, here's my only concern about it is I feel like Matt Reeves and James Gunn must have sat down and said, "What are you planning for your Batman?" Because I just want to make sure that we don't tell the same story, that we're not adapting the same comic book or something like that. Because like, for example, we want to see Court of Owls and Matt Reeves the Batman, right?
We can't now.
But I was going to say, maybe we can't now, because in James Gunn's universe, we have all the Robins, and we know how big of a role Dick Grayson plays in it, but also Damian Wayne has a role in that storyline as well, too.
All right, so give me 2 stories that you want to see with the older Batman family, and then 2 stories 2 characters you want to see in the other one. Or give me one.
What do you mean? You mean like characters for like Matt Reeves's Batverse, and then
if you like, okay, I want to see Matt Reeves universe more than James Gunn universe. Like, I'll go first. I'd rather see a Hush and a Matt Reeves universe than in a James Gunn universe.
Agreed. I could see. We already talked about Ivy, Hush, Hugo Strange, and Matt Reeves' Batman.
Ooh.
I could see a Hugo Strange. I would say something like Mr. Freeze would be more James Gunn.
Okay, I can see that. Gotcha.
Yeah.
What about Bane? Where's Bane? Is Ra's al Ghul? Like, where are you putting them?
I feel like, well, Ra's al Ghul, he has to be James Gunn. Damian Wayne doesn't exist without Ra's al Ghul.
Gotcha. But I'm saying, think about how the plots are being played. Gotcha. So where do you pin Bane? So Bane's over there too.
I mean, Tom Hardy showed us that you can have them fantastical and just a regular Debo.
Ra's al Ghul.
I would say James Gunn then, because I feel like if James Gunn did Bane, he would make him comic book accurate Bane. Like, he would be 8 feet tall and have, venom.
Because there's one name I'll throw out there too that I think now we are kind of Deathstroke. Because if we're going to follow the path you're saying, he's on James Gunn's.
How have we gotten 20 minutes into this pod? How have we gotten this far into the pod and we didn't even mention Deathstroke yet?
I'm just saying, in my head right now, we talking about people and how we building the universe, how we going to do things. If you had your draft pick, you're Matt, I'm James, 1 for 1 for 1. Because you said they probably did have a meeting about the future and what your storyline is going to be. So they don't clash.
it would only make sense, right? Yeah, like you said, so they
Yeah,
won't
right.
clash. Like you don't want to be like, oh, well, I plan on doing Court of Owls, and James Gunn's like, shit, I want to do Court of Owls.
Yeah, you're not going to compete with each other. I get it. So think about
Right,
that
we
meeting.
both can't do it.
Where does Deathstroke lie?
I mean, he could be in either.
Yes.
He could be in either. I think. Okay. I think if we're going to go with very detective noir series with Matt
Yeah.
Reeves' Batman, I do think there is a great edge to Deathstroke in that
Okay.
universe
Yes.
because this Batman wasn't trained by Ra's al Ghul. He was
Mm-hmm.
trained by Alfred, or at least it's
Yeah.
implied.
Yeah.
Being a detective for 2 or 3 movies, but ultimately fighting someone like Riddler or Clayface, like someone who really can't see him hand to hand.
Mm-hmm.
Capping that off in maybe like movie 3 or 4, where maybe it's Black Mask and Penguin, and the crime in Gotham, the crime lords in Gotham are like, we got to get rid of this Batman dude. Who do you
Mm-hmm.
call to take out Batman? There's that's a short list of people, and you don't have a Superman or anyone fantastical in this universe. So I feel like Deathstroke could really fit well there, and I feel like that will
Okay.
be a huge test for this Batman because he's not
Mm-hmm.
he's not a master ninja in
Right.
this one.
And I 1,000% agree with you, but I think for those very same reasons you mentioned about how Court of Owls has to be in James Gunn universe, Deathstroke has to be in James Gunn universe. Because if he follows the animation of Batman and Son and is have Damian Wayne come in like that, where Ra's al Ghul gets killed by Deathstroke, and how that's the reason why Damian had to go with Bruce in the first place. Deathstroke is the main villain of the first movie.
I think it just depends on how they do the story, right? Because the
Yeah,
comic
yeah.
book of Court of Owls is different than the animation.
Oh, absolutely. I'm just saying, but like, if you were to use a reference and say I, I feel like Ra's al Ghul, Deathstroke, and Damien are together, and like that's a pick where you go over here with that. So it just, even though we would love to see him in the Matt Reed hands dirty, yo, we up top of the rooftop, let's go. Like I would
Yeah,
love to see that.
I mean, and here's the thing: Warner Brothers, they have a Deathstroke script.
Yeah, they do.
Because Ben Affleck, remember Ben Affleck he was trying to make a movie where he was going to write, direct, and star in it, where he was going to be facing Deathstroke.
Yeah.
So the story's there. I mean, and maybe they have to change it a little bit, but the story's there. I think we need to see Deathstroke on the big screen in one of these universes, and that's the great thing about having 2 of them is that we're really going to see almost the entirety of Batman's rogues gallery in the next decade, which has me super, super, super excited because you can do half of them over here and half of them over here, and the stories be completely different.
Could you imagine like back to back Batman movies in 2 different universes, one being Hush, one being Deathstroke? What a time! What a
Yeah,
freaking time!
what a time to be
Matt
alive.
Reeves Hush,
I
and then
will
on top,
live at the movie theater.
And plus, they already introduced Joker, the version of Joker inside of Matt Reeves, so Joker's eventually gonna pop out of there.
Yeah,
Can you
absolutely.
imagine like Clayface to Mr. Freeze to Hush to Joker, and that's your 5 over there.
Yeah,
and on top, Penguin's already there too.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Great time.
Yeah.
Great time.
No, it's exciting, man. And this is why I love that we're getting to, because the possibilities are endless. Like we don't have to sit here and be like, oh, now we just only have Matt Reeves as Batman. It's like, all right, well, we're probably not going to see this villain because it doesn't fit in that world.
Yeah.
We've got 2 of them now. We can get the best of both worlds. We can get the best of both worlds, and I love it. And I love it. I love it.
Oh man.
So I don't know. I'm excited. Obviously we'll wait to see, what other news is going to come out for casting. But if it's Clayface, I'm down. However they choose to do it, I'm sure Matt Reeves will find a good way to make it fit in his universe. But yeah, I mean, guys, let us know what you guys think about Clayface being rumored in the Batman Part 2. Happy to hear y'all's thoughts and let us know, some other rogues gallery that you guys would love to see in either of the Batman franchises. I think, there's a lot of opportunity here to get really nerdy with a lot of this stuff. So, Darron, you got anything else?
No, just like, comment, subscribe. We thank you guys. Appreciate you guys. And until next time.
Yeah, we'll catch you guys on the next one.
Peace and love.